You're watching coverage you can count on. This is News Channel 15's First at 5.
Good evening. All across Northeast Indiana and Northwest Ohio, people are picking up the pieces after several reported tornadoes. Today, we sent crews all over the area where the worst of the damage happened. We went to Woodburn, Monroe, Defiance, and News Channel 15's Brett Thomas is live in Paulding. Before we get to all of that, all is calm right now, but there is another chance of some rain and storms tonight. Chief Meteorologist Nicholas Freire joins us with the latest.
Yeah, we've been watching this closely because there continues to be a cold front parked just off to our west. It is slowly moving east, and until it clears the area, we cannot rule out more thunderstorms popping up. As you can see, though, things have been pretty quiet on radar, and they continue that way here this evening. Our live Doppler 15 Fury storm tracker not sensing any rain around right now. But as we switch over here to our satellite and radar image, you start to see some clouds trying to trickle in, some scattered rain to our north in Michigan, more scattered rain in Illinois. But just look how disorganized it is, not posing much of a threat right now. That is very good news here tonight as many areas continue to clean up from last night's storms. 85 degrees is our current temperature. Our winds are blowing in from the west-southwest at 15 miles per hour. And temperatures here this evening will be dropping into the 60s overnight with just that slight chance at rain and thunderstorms hanging on till about sunset and just beyond. Coming up in the 7-day forecast, I do have some rain chances to talk about as the weekend moves closer. I'll fill you in on those. See you then.
Thank you, Nicholas. We continue our team coverage of last night's historic storms with News Channel 15 meteorologist Hannah Strong. She was in Woodburn today, what is likely the site of one of the strongest tornadoes to touch down in our area last night. Hannah continues our team coverage in northeastern Allen County.
I'm about 10 miles northwest of Woodburn, where yesterday the scene was destruction. Houses had been removed from their foundations, barns and sheds completely leveled. Today, that scene is now one of hope.
The community come together. It's outstanding. Last night, there's hundreds of people here helping out, and it's the outpour of the community and everybody coming together like this.
This tornado that struck near Woodburn has been preliminarily rated an EF3, but the survey is not done. If it stays rated as an EF3, it will only be the second F3 or stronger tornado to hit Allen County since we started keeping records.
It was a sight that, I mean, I never saw anything like it.
And the house behind me is the one where the tornado hit.
Tonight at 6, hear the story of the family who lived in this home and how they narrowly escaped disaster.
Everybody's coming together and helping out, and everything will be just, it's going to take some time, but nobody was hurt.
Reporting outside Woodburn, Hannah Strong, News Channel 15.
In Adams County, people there are also cleaning up a big mess left by a reported tornado. Here are some of the video viewers sent us last night and the tornado forming. Then it appears to touch down just a short time later. Today we went to Monroe to see some of the damage. Several homes and barns were without roofs. One barn was destroyed. We talked with an Amish woman who watched that tornado pass through.
The first thing we seen was tin flying all over, like through the yard. And there's some that flew right on our farm. And then the rolling clouds. And every once in a while, it was like a tail would come down.
The same story can be found in Defiance, where people are trying to clean up all of the debris left over from a reported tornado there as well. Several homes were damaged because of the storms. One woman said she went to the basement with her kids and could hear everything going on outside as that tornado passed.
We could hear mangled metal and wood hitting wood and broken glass, and it was very frightening and unpleasant, but they really did all stay calm, and we just waited it out.
About 20 miles south of Defiance, Paulding also got hit hard by a reported tornado. At least 12 homes and barns were damaged in the storm. News Channel 15's Brett Thomas is live at one of the homes that took a direct hit. Brett.
Heather, we're about 6 miles southeast of Hicksville in the worst damage in Paulding County, and this is the Logan family room, or what's left of it. The tornado came through here about dinner time last night from the southwest. They all hid out in the bathroom and they survived. They're okay, they're going to be fine, but look at some of this damage over here. That slab of concrete you see right there, That used to be a garage. Behind it, the barn has been torn up. And look at that sheet metal that's in the top of that tree, just twisted around it. Evidence that this was a tornado. Emergency Management Director Ed Bone is joining me now to talk a little bit about this. You took a look at the path of that tornado as it came through here, kind of hopping along the county.
Right.
How far was that path?
What we determined is roughly about 4 miles in length and roughly about 400 yards wide.
That's a big tornado. We just had the National
Weather Service has
out
just
here
come
too.
through here to analyze things. We do not know the magnitude of the storm, but they have confirmed that it was traumatic action, and that was the dimensions they estimated.
How many other houses, how many other homes are
we have
damaged?
a total of 7 in the county that's damaged either moderate or severe, and 5 barns or outbuildings.
That's a lot of damage here. So what happens next if you happen to be somebody that had some property that was damaged? What do you do?
What we're doing right now is we're making an assessment of everybody's property, whether it's as devastating as this we're at now with the Logans, or if homes have got shingles or siding taken off. We're all taking this into account and then submitting it to the state to see what form of declaration we can get out of it.
All right, thank you so much, Ed. I appreciate your time coming in to talk about this. So this is essentially the worst damage that we've seen here in Paulding County. This house, it used to be an old farmhouse. They added it on over the years. The addition is what really took the brunt of it. The old house that was built in the 1900s survived. Everything else, though, pretty much gone. We're going to be out here at 6 o'clock with a lot more for you, so stay with us. For now, I'm going to send it back to you. Heather?
All right, thank you, Brett. And while Brett headed to Paulding County to see the damage there, I went up in a helicopter to see the damage from above. While the destruction wasn't widespread, homes and barns that were hit hard. And I was shocked at how easy it was to see the path the tornado took when it hit the ground.
Good morning, Fort Wayne Tower. We've got some area work to do on the tornado damage out to the east.
We'd left the Fort Wayne airport and headed east looking for any signs of the storm. It didn't take long to spot the damage in Woodburn, where a huge chicken farm was leveled. Workers were on the ground, sifting through the piles of broken lumber, while a small fire smoldered nearby. The tornado flattened acres of what appeared to have been corn at one time.
But you can see that path right here.
And it was easy to follow the path of the tornado as it continued to tear through a field.
You can see up here all the swirl marks from the tip of the tornado.
And then hit a wooded area, snapping trees in half. We crossed the state line and headed to Paulding County, Ohio, where we spotted isolated damage to a house and barn. The storm ripped the roof completely off of this house, and the debris was thrown hundreds of yards away. We spent a couple of hours up in the air getting a look at all of the damage. Tonight at 6, we'll show you even more of our video, and we have a photo gallery right now posted on WANE.com. Governor Mike Pence is back in Indiana touring the damage left behind in Kokomo. The National Weather Service says a tornado with winds up to 165 miles an hour hit that town. Pence visited with about 200 people who stayed the night at a Red Cross shelter. That massive tornado leveled the Starbucks in Kokomo. No one inside was hurt, and one of those people is from Columbia City. Today, he spoke exclusively with News Channel 15's Alyssa Ivinson.
Well, a dramatic image of the Starbucks flattened. One of the first damage pictures we saw as the storms rolled through last night. And looking at this picture now, the people who were inside say they're lucky to be alive.
I was more upset when I got out of there looking at the place, thinking about what could have been.
The morning after the storm, Carl Fursty's trying to keep life as normal as possible.
It's been kind of a test of who I am to go through that. I didn't sleep very well last night. The adrenaline was going all night long, and it's still going right now.
Fursty was inside the Kokomo Starbucks when a tornado tore it apart.
Our protection was blown away. If there was any other thing that came behind it, it would have gotten us.
He and two of his colleagues from Florida and North Carolina were there for a business meeting.
About 3:15, the manager came by and said, folks, we got some bad weather coming in. You might want to move into the restrooms.
We'd heard some alarms go off on the phones.
And I could see the wind picking up and blowing across the parking lot.
There go the spotter trucks, and It's kind of like, uh-oh, here it comes.
The lights flickered.
You felt the pressure change.
And right after the pressure change, we had the tornado hit.
And there was a loud bang, and then we all kind of got down.
Everybody drops to their knees in unison, and it gets very loud.
Debris was going around, and we had the roof came off.
And then that was it, rain coming through the light fixture hole.
Amazingly, no one was hurt. The bathroom walls held, but they were trapped inside.
And the wall collapsed against the door.
This concrete wall you can see folding like cardboard in a video from a business next door landed right behind the bathrooms.
Oh my God. Yes, and other words I can't say here.
Help came quickly.
Regular Joes that just showed up with tools. The guy punched a hole through one of the walls. He's like, hey, we're gonna get you guys out of there, no worries, everybody okay?
Knocked the door out, and I mean, it was tedious getting over the debris piles.
Now they're thankful the Starbucks employees acted so quickly.
If the Starbucks personnel had not gotten us into the bathroom, the way that other section of the restaurant collapsed, there would have been some fatalities and some injuries.
While still rattled, they're thankful they're alive and are in good spirits.
Well, this was going to be my last trip. I'm retiring, so I'm not sure I'll be back.
It's going to be a while before I go back.
Will you go to a Starbucks again?
In Fort Wayne on a clear day.
After surviving a tornado, Firsty figured he was pretty lucky, so he bought some lotto tickets last night. He ended up breaking even. In Studio 15, Alyssa Ivinson, News Channel 15.
And to everyone who stuck with us on the air last night, thank you. We appreciate the hundreds of pictures and videos you sent in. We aren't always able to show all of them, but we do thank you for taking the time to let us know what you saw. Some of those pictures and videos are online right now on WANE.com. Still to come on First at 5.
Prosecutor Karen Richards announced today a Fort Wayne officer who shot a teen this summer will not face charges. Her reasoning coming up.
Coverage you can count on continues with Heather Herron and Brett Thomas.
A Fort Wayne police officer will not face charges after shooting a teen back in June. News Channel 15's Holly Campbell is live in our newsroom with more. Holly?
Karen Richards says after a full investigation, she's determined the teen was armed and Officer Robert Hollow acted in self-defense. In June, Hollow shot a 17-year-old in the back. Richards says after going through the information, she believes Hollow acted in self-defense and the teen was armed.
I am convinced beyond any doubt at all that this young man was armed.
Richards says Hollow told the teen to stop during a foot pursuit when the teen pointed a gun at the officer. Hollow shot 4 times, hitting the teen once. Police didn't find a gun at the scene on Smith Street the day of the shooting, raising questions of whether or not the teen was armed. Police did find a gun 3 days later. Richards says she also listened to jail phone calls about the gun and found evidence of it on the teen's cell phone.
The fact that his friends all thought he was armed, with the fact that we found the gun and the same exact model of gun was being sold by this young man on his cell phone or being offered for sale. Putting all of that together clearly corroborated the statement given by the officer.
Richards says the case against the teen is still under review. The teen's mother filed an excessive force lawsuit against Hollow in federal court, and that case is still pending. We reached out to the family's attorney but have not heard back at this time. Holly Campbell, News Channel 15.
Nicholas is back with us. So nice to see the sunshine and the blue sky today after what we went through yesterday.
A great balance after yesterday's quite active weather. We're still not in the clear yet. Some scattered rain and thunderstorms may pop up before this evening is up. I'll fill you in the forecast right after this.
Coverage you can count on continues with Chief Meteorologist Nicholas Ferreri's live Doppler 15 Fury forecast.
Along with all the damage reports that we saw from last night's storm, we also picked up plenty of rain. Within Fort Wayne, about an inch of rain picked up officially at the airport, and other spots within Allen County saw an excess of 2 inches of rainfall. That is bringing us closer to our average precipitation for the month after an August that has had quite a dry start. Right now, though, we are trending less than 7/10 of an inch below average, with a total of just over 2 inches of rainfall picked up this month. Here, as we go to our weather cameras, things are looking a whole lot better than they were 24 hours ago as the clouds were thick and the storms were coming on down. We're seeing some sunshine now from the Bluffton camera and from our Empyrean Event Center cam across downtown. Things are looking good as well. You note the clouds in the sky at the moment. They are not ominous and they are not producing any rainfall. Our Live Doppler 15 Fury storm tracker is clear and dry. As we've been mentioning, over the course of the past day, the rain chance is not in the clear for us until we get into late night when a cold front exits the area. We'll transition here to our satellite and radar image. Note the clouds and the scattered rain spotted here from Michigan into Illinois. This is where the cold front sits. It's right on our doorstep, and it's going to take a few more hours before it heads to the east and then exits. We're talking about sunset and just beyond. This scattered rain that we're seeing, not showing any signs of being severe right now, but with the hot and humid air we have in place, I cannot rule out still a strong or severe storm developing. 84 degrees is our current temperature. The winds are from the west at 15 miles per hour. And it's been a hot, humid afternoon everywhere across northeast Indiana and northwest Ohio. It's 86 in Convoy and Decatur now, 83 in Kendallville, Huntington. You are at 84. Our Muggy meter today was all the way up at tropical. With this cold front coming through, we will get a less humid air mass in place, but it's really not going to be all that shockingly different from what we've experienced today. The Muggy meter will drop just one notch tomorrow down to humid, and temperatures will be all in all fairly similar in the 80s once again. We'll track this here hour by hour. As we get to sunset, remember, that's when the cold front clears the area and our rain chances will quickly disappear. It's why we don't see any rain on our map as we head into our Thursday night. We advance to Friday morning. At that point, temperatures will be in the mid-60s, 65 our overnight low. Then during the day tomorrow, with this current system off to the east, we don't have to worry about any rain during the day. We'll see some sunshine, we'll see a few clouds, and then by the time we get into the afternoon, high temperatures will reach into the 80s. We're talking about a high of 83 degrees. For us on Friday night, of course, Friday night football. Things are getting started on that front, and once we get into the latter portions of the game, think about the second half, it's possible we could see some scattered rain show up at that point. A few sprinkles and showers, a very low chance, just 20%, and that chance will continue through the day on Saturday. Saturday's high 86, Sunday 87. Sunday carries with it our best chances at rain this weekend. Then next week, temperatures hold in the mid-80s. At this point, no rain from Monday through Thursday.
Nice and calm.
Sure is.
Okay, thank you, Nicholas. We're back in just a moment.
Coverage you can count on continues with Heather Herron and Brett Thomas.
The first case of the Zika virus has reached our area, and that tops tonight's stories for your well-being. Defiance County authorities say a person traveled to one of the countries that was home to an outbreak back in July. That person was tested once he or she got back to Defiance after having symptoms of the Zika virus. Zika is usually transferred by a mosquito. There are no reports that it can spread from person to person through casual contact. Byron Health Center is hosting the Francine's Friends Mobile Mammography tomorrow. The CEO of Byron Health Center is a two-time breast cancer survivor, so she's an advocate for getting women tested early. If you would like to be tested, you need to call the number on your screen to make an appointment. That number is 260-483-1847. Well, all is quiet in downtown Fort Wayne, but there is a chance of some rain and storms tonight. Nicholas is back after the break with one last check of the forecast.
I'm Brett Thomas, live in Paulding County as we continue our coverage of the tornado that came through here. This is the worst destruction in the county, and check this out. It's the one thing that saved this family's life. The bathroom, the place you're told to go, right? They huddled inside this bathroom, and then the tornado came over and ripped the roof right off of their heads here. Now, coming up at 6 o'clock, you're going to hear from them as they talk about their dramatic story of survival, that fight with a tornado in the bathroom here in Paulding County. I'll have more on that tonight during our 6 o'clock newscast. Join me then. Heather?
Okay, thank you, Brett. Nicholas, a lot of people saved because of the efforts of you and our team last night.
Yeah, so glad they were taking cover, so glad so many of our viewers heeded the warnings and stayed safe. What good news for us today. Now tonight, still watching that potential at additional rain and thunderstorms popping up. We're mainly dry, but there's a little rain that just is showing up south of Portage now. We'll see if that becomes anything as it heads farther to the east. Tomorrow, 83 humid, 86 on Saturday, a slight chance at rain. Better chances come on Sunday.
Okay, thank you, Nicholas. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you at 6.